All right, y'all.
We're back.
We're back. We're Black and White Randomz podcast. I'm T, aka Sky. This is alrighty. Pretty much, we're back with another podcast where we talk about random things.
Yep.
Surprise, surprise. There. Um,
That's the title.
exactly. Um, Pretty much, we talk about a bunch of popular topics, possibly world events. We try to stay away from politics. So if you want to talk about politics, probably not the podcast for you. Um, just who knows? It might be sports too. So you never know, and especially with us.
No, because you come up from her. Because topics come from her. Because I don't have the brain for that. That's her brain.
That's what they claim. Anyway, so anywho, we get ready to jump into this thing. Make sure you guys like, comment, share,
Subscribe.
And hit that notification bell for us. And if you're on any other platform, pretty much hit that follow for us. Alrighty, so why would the number one recruit for women's basketball going into college want to opt out of going to one of the top schools? And I'm not saying the school that this person is choosing is not top notch, but it's not one of like the top, I believe, 10 schools for women's basketball right now.
The only reason that I can possibly think is maybe she wouldn't feel like she would stand out there.
Her thing was she felt like she didn't want to go unnoticed, which I feel like that's pretty much she thought she was going to be benched her first year as a freshman. But I'm like, majority of the top freshmen that come out of high school start their freshman year. Majority. I think the only one that didn't start was like Malaysia for a while or whatever, and that's playing for Dawn Staley. So I can understand why she didn't choose South Carolina, because a lot of times Dawn Staley does bench her freshmen, or they come off the bench their freshman year. They will not. They usually don't start behind the the upperclassmen or whatnot.
Right. Huh.
But it's funny to me that she chose to do that, because I'm like, oh, so you just trying to be a superstar, basically. You don't want your talents to go to waste or whatever. But I feel like, why turn down? Okay, because let's think of some of the top coaches she turned down. She turned down Dawn Staley, which that's South Carolina. You turned down Gino, which is UConn. You turned down Kim Mulkey over at LSU. Like, these are big time name schools or whatever. Heck, you wouldn't even go to USC. And not to say that if you're the top player in the country, a lot of times they get more than probably 15, 20 offers. Sometimes they get offered majority of the schools. So it's just like, yo, you about to go to Oklahoma, I believe it is. I'm like, that's a weird choice of school for basketball, but okay.
What if the decision to choose the school was not based on the sport or the coach? It's based on the school. Like, maybe it's an education-based decision.
I mean, it could be, but how the statement was that came out today didn't make it seem that way. The only two players I could credit for doing this over the last couple of years would be JuJu Watkins going to USC, because their basketball program was not all of that for women's. Actually for men's either, to be honest. Men's was okay. But JuJu got there, and then other talent wanted to come in, and maybe that's her hopes. I feel like Haley Van Lith just did that as well, because Haley Van Lith is on her third school. She's a 5th-year freshman. She transferred out of Louisville and then went to LSU for her senior year. Her four-year senior year, that's what we'll call it. And then it really kind of didn't work out there because Kim Mulkey tried to make her into a point guard. She already had a bunch of shooting guards already. Haley just didn't really, I felt like she never hit a groove. There were certain games where she went off, but she never really got into a groove because she wasn't used to being a point guard, which is, understandable.
Right.
And then after having like a really trash, because if we used to put that whole year together at LSU for her specifically, she didn't really thrive in that environment. And then you had another big name there, which is Angel Reese, and then you had Flau'jae Johnson or whatever. And then Michaela Williams was like the true freshman last year or whatnot. Yeah, so she kind of like, she went through it, and I don't think that was a school for her. She went to TCU. She's, a Christian or whatever, and I see Christian like college. So it kind of makes sense. that she transferred in there to a certain extent, but also they didn't really have a ton of talent at TCU at the time of her transferring, I believe. They had their center was there, which she's really talented, and then I think they got like 1 or 2 other shooting guards or whatever. That's pretty decent. So they thriving, and right now she's back to another Sweet 16. I think she's the only player in college history to play at 3 different schools and they all make it to the Sweet 16. So fun fact about Haley Van Lith. But I just find it weird that like you would want to go to Oklahoma. Like that's a weird school to go to. But I wish her all the luck and I hope talent comes there. And I'm not saying they don't have talent. I just don't really watch the OSU program like that or whatever. I think they're they're not OSU. Ohio State University is.
Because a lot of schools you have a pretty good.
Yeah, but Oklahoma is like one of them. They might be in a tournament. They might not be in a tournament. Like I might be paying attention to you. I might not. Like I don't know, but I wish her all the best of luck. Anywho, moving on to the next thing in college women's hoops, JuJu Watkins goes down.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man, if that didn't break America's heart, bro, I don't know what it did. Cause like you were just rooting for her just to be like, she's already doing really well.
The morning I sent you that was what I woke up and saw as soon as I turned my phone on. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and I saw it before you did.
Yeah. I'm glad that she has time to recover and come back. But that being said, the injury, like it sucks all around. But
that injury,
not, like in her final year, and she's completely out for the rest of her college.
And she might not be back until like mid-season next year, if that. Which is gonna.
That's a long recovery.
Well, remember Cameron Brink just had that same type of tear, so it depends on I guess how bad the tear really was. I don't know. All I know is she was supposed to have went into surgery some point this week. So
yeah, I know they got to get to it.
Yeah, all I know is Cameron Brink was on. She's on a podcast now with Steph Curry's sister, her god sister.
Back at the start of the season?
So that's debatable. She might be ready to go. It might take her a couple of weeks to a month into the season for her to be ready to go. Okay. Right now she was like she feels weird inside of her body. Like she's now just being able to like actually run. She's not supposed to be doing any cuts or anything like that. She was like her shooting is extremely off. Like she has to basically relearn almost how to play basketball in her body again. And her being 6'4" and lengthy or whatever is gonna be challenging to say the least. But you know, I wish her a speedy recovery. Hopefully she is back at the start of the season. If not, we'll see her a couple of weeks into the season.
The desire for her to come back is
no, she's definitely gonna want to come back. And I think they got who they getting a trade? They have Kelsey Plum, I believe, that just went to their team. So like KP is she nasty. She's always been that chick. So she got a great point guard that they just drafted. So I'm gonna trade it. So traded for. So we'll see how that works out. But as far as JuJu Watkins is concerned, it was just a really weird week anyway, because she went viral literally the day before she had this ACL injury, which is crazy.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see that part.
Bro, she went viral for sitting next to Jaden Daniels,
I didn't see
the quarterback from the Commanders, aka the old LSU quarterback or whatever.
Okay.
You know, he just did his rookie season in NFL. And pretty much damn near made it to the Super Bowl. He got knocked out in the NFL. He got knocked out in the championship.
I was gonna say, wasn't it the second game
for the NFC? Literally, he got knocked out in the championship game in the NFC. Yeah, me too. But you know, politics. It's like no, just playing. The Eagles, the team that went should have went. But it was just crazy to me that you know. Speaking of Jaden Daniels, it was just weird vibes anyway. That what she went viral for in the first place was her literally sitting next to him and having a conversation. Now, from afar, it did look like they might have been flirting. There was a lot of smiling going on. We don't know for sure. No, like the girl is clearly a young woman. So at the end of the day, it was just weird. They was giving weird, but it went viral not because they were flirting. It went viral because the mom with her weird self came and sat down in between them. That's why that went viral, because his mom on many occasions this last year, because she followed in Lamar Jackson's mom's footsteps and became his agent. And her thing is she doesn't want him to get taken advantage of by some of these women that run in these circles with these athletes and pretty much, have him paying out the wazoo because he got some chick pregnant or whatever. He got into some scandals. She don't want that attached to his name.
I'm pretty sure she's not going to be falling into that category.
She definitely
she's
not.
Have her own, okay.
And that's what people online say, like, bro, like that's not the one.
Have her own. So you can calm down a little bit with that one. Just because she's in college, he was just recently in. Shut up. Sit down. Leave them alone.
They're like, it's a 4 or 5 year age gap between them. I'm like,
okay, all right.
I get like at that stage of 4 or 5 years, it is a gap in between where you are in your life.
Absolutely.
But it's not like the girl don't have her own bag. She's not after him for all of that. If she liked the guy, she probably genuinely thought he was attractive. If that was the case.
Right.
All I'm gonna say is
it would have her own, not only when because she's gonna end up, she's gonna have this endorsement. She's going to have her own.
Well, a lot of Caitlin Clark fans were mad recently because this is the other thing about her being in her bag. Her signature shoe came out before Caitlin Clark's with Nike. They both signed to Nike. Okay. And maybe my thing is, I don't even think Angel Reese's signature shoe came out yet either. So it's just like, yo, chill out.
I don't know if her shoe.
No,
I know the merch.
She has some type of like PE type shoe, but it's not her actual signature shoe that came out yet. We saw the design for it last year, but I don't think it dropped yet. Yeah. But in any accord, either way, like regardless, it's not even that, dog. It's just giving weird for his mom to do that goofy shit. First of all, it really didn't even make JuJu look bad. It made you as a mom. It made her son look bad. It made him look like he doesn't have control. It makes him look like a young boy, and it makes him look like you don't have respect for him. Which, if your goal was to keep all females away from him, ma'am, you probably gonna do a good job with that. But just know that just because you're this like uptight, the wrong one definitely gonna slip through the cracks if you keep that shit up.
Because he's gonna be more determined to cling to the wrong one because you won't let him find the right one. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say determined. All I'm gonna say is people got their ways of doing all types of stuff, and that weird energy you putting out there. Yeah. Then she giving like those mom, that mom that's like the husband. That like that's her husband type vibes or whatever. Even like sometimes how they post up in pictures is giving like weird energy with her. Like it's just weird. Like that's not your man. That's your child.
That's your child. Even once he's grown, that's your child.
I'm all for her having some type of discernment with the women that will come into his life. But at the end of the day, that man is a grown man. Now, what you're gonna create is him sneaking behind your back, doing what he wants to do as a grown man. And I don't think that's the type of environment you want or relationship you want to create with your son. Anyway, here we go. Next topic. How are y'all mad at the women who are independent men, but want us to go 50-50, but also want us to be submissive? Make it make sense. Yeah. Y'all are the ones that y'all want to claim women to this, that, and the third. No, y'all are confusing. Y'all are sending out all these damn mixed ass messages that don't make no damn sense. Like it makes no sense. It doesn't you and then one hurts. No, because if she's too successful, then it's also a problem for certain men. Right. I don't get that either.
Yeah, I don't.
I need for y'all to get that together.
Please.
Because it's giving real weird, and I can understand y'all, but also arguing down women. Y'all want us to start, going back towards the wifely figures and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, do y'all know what that actually requires and entails? And do you? Y'all not ready. And a lot of times men be the ones tearing down their marriages. And I'm not saying women don't, but for the most part, it's men that tear down a damn marriage. There's a lot of abusive men out there, and it doesn't have to be physical. It can be emotionally done. There's a lot of men out there that take advantage of their woman because she does take care of him and takes care of the household or whatever. There's a lot of serial cheaters out there just because y'all want to do it. And I don't want to hear that it's in a man's nature shit, because at the end of the day, you control your own body.
Right.
I don't care how much you're like, oh, that looks good over there. At the end of the day, if you knew what type of men your woman comes into contact when she leave the fucking house, you might want to rethink that. She had.
You might get
and you probably not even the top option she got. So I would definitely stop.
No, but she loves your goofy ass, so stop being a dick.
Stop being a dick. Like, oh, it's temptation out there. It's temptation everywhere. And you can say that about a lot of things. There's temptation with money. There's temptation with sex. There's like
everywhere you go, there's going to be something.
It's the worst argument they can make is, you know,
mature enough to look at it and go, oh, okay, that's nice, but I'm good over here.
The fact that you got to look at it and then in your mind you have to have it because it look good. Everything that glitters is not gold, and that's how a lot of y'all end up in some crazy ass predicaments and situations.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, moving along. Did you hear the story about the 3 teenage girls that chased their mother outside because she turned off the Wi-Fi?
I saw something about it. I have not gone in depth. Y'all crazy.
This why people need to go back to BTA immediately. Yeah, I'm not trying to hear nothing about no child abuse. Because to me, as long as you're not looking like you ready to fight your child in the middle of the street like you fighting a stranger, there's a certain types of discipline. And it works for certain kids. I'm not saying that this applies to every child. No, it doesn't. But you know when your children are getting out of hand and when they get to a point, your child is trying you because they know they can. First of all, y'all chase this woman out the house. This is your mother. A 14, 15, and 16-year-old. Y'all chased her down the street with a knife for some Wi-Fi, bro. And the reason why, and this is the kicker, actually all 3 of y'all are at the age where y'all can get jobs. If y'all wanted Wi-Fi that bad, go get y'all ass a job.
Somebody when I did see that story, I didn't like I think it was one of the ones that was like multi-swipes or whatever. I didn't do it, but somebody in the comments was like, "Yeah, y'all mad now because y'all ain't got no Wi-Fi now." Where y'all at?
Exactly, because they got locked up for attempted murder. And one of the daughters had the audacity to, when she couldn't catch the mother, she threw a brick at her and hit her in the fucking head with it. So yes, y'all goofy. If I'm the mother, oh no, they gotta sit for whatever sentence, whatever you get ready to give them, keep them in there. Because now y'all locked up for attempted murder. And to be honest, attempted murder charge could keep you in there till all the asses is past 18. So at the end of the day, like Wi-Fi, dog, now y'all sitting in there looking stupid. It's no way, bro. Discipline is a virtue. Y'all keep listening to the government on how to discipline y'all kids all y'all want to. Certain kids do need to be disciplined in specific types of ways.
Some kids, the threat is enough. For some kids, it's not.
And clearly, ma'am, your kids wasn't enough to have no threat. Because I'm telling you right now.
You needed to be following. Should have been following through a while ago.
Nah. Over some damn Wi-Fi. And they had the audacity while they was chasing the mother to knock the grandmother out the way when she tried to stop them. Bruh.
Disrespecting your grandmother too. Damn.
Disrespectful as shit. Damn. I bet you all on probably some little funny looking at. Anyway, we gonna move along.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this. You know who Napheesa Collier is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they call her Fee in the W. You know this, right? You also know Napheesa Collier is one of the owners of Unrivaled, correct? Yes. All right. So she was on ESPN either yesterday or the day prior. I remember seeing the interview. Now, she was on there, and I guess she was on First Take because Stephen A. Smith was on there or whatever. Okay. And pretty much one of the questions that was asked to her was along the lines of like, does she feel like they should be in these meetings acquiring more money or whatever? And also about like the viewership for like most of like Caitlin Clark's games. I think like 40 out of 45 of her games are televised or something like that. I think that's the number around about. So, you know, Fee took the high road. She was like, I absolutely believe that her game should be televised. Like, we know she's a superstar, like, yada, yada, yada. She's like, but I'm not saying that some of the other teams shouldn't have more televised games. I'm not saying as many as her, but I'm just saying more. Right? Cool. Okay. So, prime example, she was like, look at the difference in this. I think If Caitlyn has 40 games televised, the championship team from last year only got like 20, 23 games or something like that televised.
Yeah, they put all their eggs in one basket and banked on
they did.
Outcome that did not happen.
So Stephen A. Smith argument, which is a half truth, was like, yeah, you know, it's like the Jordan effect. Like they pushed Jordan and Jordan. And my thing is this: they pushed Jordan, but Jordan's success was off the back of like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird's beef. Because like the league was already starting to get traction back in like around 88 or whatever. And then, you know, Jordan came in and all that other stuff. So it's just like, yo, tell the full truth. Right. That's what the Angel Caitlyn battle was. Now we gonna try to make Caitlyn Clark, Michael Jordan. She's not Michael Jordan, dog. Yes, she has a lot of traction. Yes, they should benefit off of that. But the reason why I brought this up in the first place is because you now have, which I knew was going to happen, the Caitlyn Clark fanboys making up false narratives about what she said. Like the dude pretty much made a post on his channel or whatever, and he pretty much was like, Napheesa Collier, every time she speaks, she gets dumber and dumber. And that's literally like the title of the video or whatever. And I'm like, you titled your video that to degrade this woman because her opinion doesn't suit what you think is true?
If you've never been taught this,
but you making money off of her, but she getting dumber and dumber.
Not even just that. Anytime someone feels the need to make a post like that, they are threatened by success. He is threatened by her success. He is threatened by her improvement, and it's his masculinity is.
But the kicker is, had Caitlyn Clark though got on there herself and made that same exact statement Napheesa Collier did, you're gonna have certain people that would have been pissed off because, you know, she's Jesus Christ or whatever, and they're racist, some of them or whatever, and anything that these black women say in the league, they just jealous of this white woman. Oh, they all jealous. I'm like, they are not all jealous of her. They realize and they know that this woman is like this. Then, like, prime example, I got in an argument with a dude today because of his view on something that somebody on that championship team, they had an interview, which this came out a while ago. I don't know why it's resurfacing or whatever, but the MVP from the finals of the W, she literally was on like, I forget the name of this podcast or whatever, but it's 3 like ex-NFL players or whatever. They had this podcast. And she pretty much was making a statement like she doesn't believe that the Fever's fans are racist innately. She was like, I don't think it's that. No. She was like, I don't even believe Caitlyn Clark is racist. I believe that they are mad that she's not racist, that they found that out now. She was like, because, and a lot of the other WNBA players have spoken out about this, because before it was, oh, they beating her up on the court and this, that, and the third. And I had to prove this dude wrong earlier because he was like, she's the only one getting her ass beat. I was like, are y'all crazy? I was like, so what happens when Tierra McCowan was trying to bully Angel Reese? What happens when AT fucking slammed Angel Reese on her neck? Like, what happens when Asia Wilson, you know, was going at it with Angel Reese in the paint? Like, there was, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, what happens when Breonna Stewart get frustrated? What happens when Fee gets frustrated with Angel Reese? Like, at the end of the day, they start trying to come back towards her, back at her, or whatever. I was like, what happened to Rakia Jackson when she almost squared up with Brittany Griner and then got pushed around by some of the other bigs? Like, nobody's mentioning all the other rookies that went through this. Cameron Brink getting knocked over, rolled over, mauled over, or whatever by AT and Brittany Griner and all the rest of them or whatever. At the end of the day, she was not the only one. Hers just got pushed and got more attention because more eyes are on Caitlyn Clark. Yeah. She's not the only rookie. And I was like, and then if you notice mid-season, they tapered off. They stopped bullying them so much.
Right.
That was they welcome to the league. She got a welcome to the league like everybody else. Everybody else. All of the bright stars that came into the W previously to Caitlyn Clark got the same treatment. Y'all want people to not touch that girl because, quote unquote, she's the money, she's the cash cow or whatever for the W. But it's so funny that and another thing is, one of the dudes literally tried to argue me down one time, was like, it's not true that they lock the seats in the arena or whatever. They lock ticket sales. I said they do. They cap ticket sales and they do it a lot in the W. I was like, hence, that's why Caitlyn Clark was the only one. And I'm not saying they was going to sell out. These other teams were going to sell out arenas like that. Right. But they would have damn near came. Some of these games came close. There were even fans pissed off because they could no longer purchase. And this is way before the game even happened. When we went to go see the Mystics, because they couldn't go watch Angel Reese. because the shit was sold out at fucking 8,500.
That's not sold out.
And meanwhile, the whole rest of the damn arena was empty as a month. Half the arena.
I wonder if
seated.
The pictures I took, we can tell. I wonder.
Girl, you can tell if you go back and watch the game.
I'm going back from my phone.
You can see seats is full of shit down the bottom, and then as soon as you get,
empty,
they
dark. Didn't even bother turning the lights on.
And my thing is this: I feel like they did that because they didn't think that AR or some of these other teams. Because I think Vegas, they let Vegas sell out one of their games too, or a couple of their games. But it's all about how many tickets they put out there. You can't purchase what's not available. I'm not saying this is the case for all the teams, but I'm just saying, like, for the games that we went to see Angel Reese, this absolutely was the case. So at the end of the day, that whole argument, we know Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark.
Right.
You can't compare it, but you also can't say that other teams don't deserve to be televised. Yeah, like this one dude tried to say she sound dumber and dumber. She literally gave y'all what the actual statement was that should have been.
She gave an answer that didn't tear down what y'all want to hear. She didn't go against what y'all want to hear. She just said, also, by the way.
She didn't even say my team should have more viewership. She literally just went and said that, hey, like this team right here and maybe another team, whatever, the contender from last year, should have had more viewership. Which I think it might have been her team that played. I can't even remember. Regardless, it didn't really matter because at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark. Her games should be televised. Like, nobody's going to argue that. But he also got mad because Fee said something about the CBA, which is like the Women's Basketball Association thing or whatever, where they go to negotiate, their contracts and stuff like that, where there's the actual members from the W that are on this committee or whatever. Mm-hmm. So pretty much she's on the committee and she, he was asking about the potential lockout. Because remember, Angel Reese was the one that called for the lockout, which is a bunch of bullshit. You got people like, man, I heard. No, you didn't hear. Because if you guys listen to the podcast, what she said was, I heard we will be having a lockout if we don't get such and such, which is basically a renewal of their contracts. And then they act like all she said was, we're asking for more money. She didn't say they was asking for, because here go these talking about this false narrative of they want to get paid the same as NBA players. That shit is a falsity. And every time that y'all say it, it's false. They do not want to get paid the same as the NBA. They want the same percentage of the ticket sales and the jersey sales that the NBA players get. Imagine that. Wow. Which was the whole thing eventually. But they don't even want that this go round with their contracts. What they wanted this go round was just a little bit more money in their pockets than they had previously. That's all they asked for. Right. Because right now, if you want to be honest, they can go play 3v3 for what, 2 months, 2.5 months at 10 weeks and make $150,000-$200,000. Actually, someone was making $250,000. They signed on their contracts, which is more than literally that's some of their 4-year contract right now in the WNBA. So make that make sense. Yeah, that's crazy. So, or they gotta go overseas, where overseas is damn near paying them way more. Them girls don't want to keep going overseas to play basketball. They want to stay home. Right. And the women's game is becoming more entertainment. It is. It's
picking up more attention and more traction, but with that should come a change in the way it's always been run.
I don't know. I seen Angel practicing dunking in 3v3 too. That might be coming this year. Okay. She get on a fast break. It might be a thing. We will see.
I just want her to keep improving because she's never satisfied with the status quo. Most of them are not. They're athletes.
No, but a lot of them don't know how good Angel really was coming out of high school when she was at Maryland before she sustained those injuries or whatever, and then went to LSU. And even her very first year at LSU, Angel was cooking. A lot of people don't know Angel Reese was averaging like 25 points and 16 rebounds or something crazy, and they wasn't off her missed shots. If you miss that many damn shots to get 26 points, I'm gonna have a fucking problem. Now. Does she get a lot of offensive boards? She do. And all of them not off her missed shots either. Yes, there's a couple clips out there from a couple games where she, whatever. Other than that, Like for the most part, if you was to statistically pull up all her rebounds, her offensive rebounds for the most part is not off her fucking business. That's the kicker. They gonna keep trying to push that false ass narrative.
They're going to believe what they want to believe. There's nothing anybody can say to convince
us. Especially if they true Caitlin Clarkey, as they claim they supposed to be, but they really a Clayton Clark fan. They not really a fan of basketball.
Yeah.
If you was a fan of basketball, you could appreciate an Angel Reese's game. That's the player you want on your team. She gonna hype up her teammates. She got their back no matter what. She gonna work hard in that paint to get the rebounds for your team.
Right.
And on top of that, she's not really a ball hog. Like she gonna dish the ball out.
Right. My thing is a lot of like those. It's not even the fans, the fanatics. Y'all just want to believe you have to hate any other player who is not Caitlin Clark. You don't have to hate the other players.
My thing is this.
Just Angel, any of the other players. Because anytime someone got in her face last year or checked her, y'all was ready to like y'all doing way too much. You do not have to be a fanatic to the point of hating others.
No, they just want to watch her run off 1,000 screens and shoot a three. That's literally all they want to watch. I'm like, okay, she got a long ball three. She's not the only player in the W with a long ball three. Right. Now, even when she first came in, remember her shots wasn't falling like that. Her percentage was down.
That's pretty normal, I feel like.
It is. Some players started out a little bit better than others, but the rookies eventually they got their feet wet and then they were, they were good.
If you start at the top, you're gonna fall before you get back up to the top.
But they fail to realize if they was to put a Caitlin Clark and an Angel Reese on the same team, they'd be dominating.
They absolutely would, and I think they both know that.
They would be complementary to each other. Absolutely.
They both acknowledge that. Like they don't want their fans to be at war.
No, but they know for the sake of the league that they got to be separated. They know. They both said it to a certain extent. It wasn't directed, but it was. It was said without being said. It is what it is. Like I feel like at this point in time, like. They also won't let it go. Like people don't change and they don't grow. Because the amount of people that call Angel classless because she's not quiet like a Caitlin Clark or it baffles me because it's like, yo, the men league talk way more shit. They talk so much like, oh my gosh. Anyway, and she from Baltimore. We just talk shit in general. We were taught to do that on the court from a young age.
We don't really mean it. We mean it, but we don't.
We'll show the attitude and everything during the game. After the game, everything is cool. Like we don't care. Right. Like it's already not like let that go. All right, so here we go.
Right.
You got men out here hyping up other men for their YN behavior. That's out of control. A lot of men out here, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of men out here just be looking at status of other men and deem that is a reason for them to be able to get away with some of the shit they get away with. And it's just not, the shit ain't right. I'm sorry. And I'm calling y'all out. One of the top ones that I'm gonna call out right now and that y'all think that's the shit that he does and says is fucking cute because y'all as grown men be siding with this motherfucker is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards played for the Timberwolves if you did not know this. Okay. He is also the ignorant Ramus that had something to say to Obama because Obama was like, yeah, he can play basketball a little bit. And then he got a fucking offended. Man, nah, he jumped on. I'm like, bro, you jumped on a former president, dog. Like, no respect at all. And he wasn't even disrespecting your game. It was just a little joke, bro. And you couldn't even take a joke.
We watched Obama play. Remember, he was playing when he was y'all stop it.
Anthony Edwards is so full of himself. Because remember, they was calling him the next Jordan like last year. And to me, he ain't as good as he was last year, this year. Some people won't argue that down, but I'm like, yo, I look at numbers and stats on a regular basis, and I looked at a lot of his stats last year compared to this year. Like, I'm sorry. I am sorry about it, yo. He is not as good as he was last year. Then he got all these damn baby mothers, yo. He like 23, 24. He was super young. Like, he dumb young. One of his baby mothers is like in her late 30s or whatever. It's just that, like, and he don't take care of his kids like that. He got one child that he favor over the other. Like, it's just a lot of things about him that's just not really, he's not a good dude. Yeah. Nothing about him screams he's a good dude. And y'all let him get away with this because he's in the NBA. Oh, no. Then he was like, oh yeah, I would be that dude back then. I'd be going that joint. You probably would have been. I'm not saying he's not talented. What I'm saying is he's a dick. Like, he's not a good dude. And y'all push him not being a good dude. He's just not. He arrogant as shit. Like, there's one thing if he was just confident. He's arrogant. It'd be one thing if he's just talking shit on the court. He talks shit all the time. He always if somebody say something to him out though, he feel like somebody is blatantly disrespecting him, and they not.
It is rare to find a man who will hold other men accountable. Most men do not.
No, because a lot of y'all hang in a group with dudes that y'all know not good dudes.
Right.
Y'all know they not good dudes from a can of paint. But that goes back to the other argument about how they treat women. Because y'all know these dudes be treating these women like this, and then y'all will still be on these dudes' side. But I mean, to be honest, we should already know that we should know that from the jump, because anytime when these dudes get caught cheating on their girl, it's always some dumbass lie that they try to stick with. Oh my, it'd be so stupid. I'm just like, bro, like the lie not even a good lie. It's a badass lie, and then you gonna keep trying to stick with it. Like, this shit is dumb.
Right.
But Anthony Edwards is not the only one, because I feel like Ja Morant is like this too. Ja Morant talk the most shit, and your team be losing like a motherfucker all the time. Like, I swear every time I turn on the TV, they be losing damn near. He be talking the utmost shit. I don't like the Lakers, and y'all consistently be losing to the Lakers. Man. Then you try to go at it with LeBron. Why the hell would you try to do that? You built like a damn ant, and you trying to go at LeBron. LeBron ass is built like Thanos. Why in the hell would you be trying to go at him? Like, I don't care how far you can jump out the gym. These dudes be trying to pump these dudes up like they're gods. It be the problem. Like, they are not gods. No. Y'all got them out here thinking that, like, yeah, they might be it down here, bro. When they die and they gotta leave this earth, they can go ahead and talk to the real God and see what's up.
Yeah, they're not invincible.
Like, y'all not invincible.
Yeah, stop putting people up in
y'all be having these dudes down here thinking they goddamn superheroes and shit. They're not. They're just more talented than the average Joe. So what? You can have your favorite basketball player. There's nothing wrong with having a favorite basketball player. It's when your favorite basketball player, like I said, they can be disrespectful on the court. Like, they talk their shit on the court. I don't care. But like, when they start bringing that shit into their real life and talking to people all greasy and like, no, you're not a good person.
Yeah,
you're not. And God forbid something actually happened to Anthony Edwards, and he go out with like a season-ending injury or something like that, or he has a career-ending injury, yo. Then what kind of shit you gonna be talking in? Exactly. Like, y'all be talking all this stuff while y'all on top, but if that shit come crashing down, what you gonna do? Nothing. The same type of dudes that had nobody on their side. Anyway, so here we go.
Right.
Last topic. Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
Talking about if LeBron would have put hands on him, he would have put hands back on him. Sir, he'd have pushed that hairline all the way back to the rest of the way back. I know you lying. LeBron James about 6'8".
Big boy shit.
Heavy muscle. Heavy on the muscle. Sir, if he would have hit you, you wouldn't have had time to think about it.
Unless he's got a black belt that nobody knows about hiding somewhere in his past. No.
Stephen A., you about 60 years old, yo. No. 60 plus. What are we talking about, my guy?
Also, so we missed last week. I wasn't feeling well. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this. Is he still talking about this?
Girl, you missed it. LeBron James went on the what's his name? Something McCat. He went on a podcast today. I forget the dude's name. It's a famous podcast or whatever. Wait. I mean, he does a sports show too. I forget his name or whatever. Okay. And it's first of all, I wouldn't have thought that he would have been on there, because this guy, whatever, whose show he was on was another one of them severely Caitlin Clark fanboys. But we're gonna let that go. Anyway, so he went on there or whatever, and the question came up about reporters and Stephen A. And LeBron pretty much was like, he was like, to be honest, he said he's still missing the point. He said, you see, he out here on his damn Taylor Swift tour right now about this. He said that man was on a Taylor Swift tour, but he flat out said, and I quote, he still is missing the point.
Yeah.
He said, because you can get on there and talk about when we're performing bad all you want to.
Yep.
That is your job. That's what you got hired to do.
Right.
He said, but when you start taking personal shots at my family, he said, I gotta defend my household, make sure my household is good. Everybody's in there straight.
Excuse
like,
that's what a man is supposed to do. By the way, because y'all be missing it. Anyway, go ahead.
He was like, bro, you was taking personal shots at.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? It's one thing if he would have just stuck to basketball, but like,
you went too far.
You went too damn far.
He told you went too far.
And I'm glad you. And look, I'm kind of glad he did because Bronny been cooking ever since. Bronny ass had a fucking 39-point game in the G League the other day, bro. Listen. But also, like, get that kid some grace. Y'all also forget that man had cardiac arrest not too long ago. But anyway, you know, slightly over a year ago, whatever.
Take the L, move on. Don't talk about him again. Just let it the hell go.
Let it go.
I can't believe we're still talking about this 2 weeks later because it wasn't.
Bro, like I told you that week that he had started going on people's shows and shit about this.
I got threatened by LeBron tour. That's what we're going to do.
Basically.
LeBron threatened me tour.
LeBron was like, and he was like, I bet you had not mentioned his name today. His smile got even bigger, touching ear to ear. He ready to get on somebody's couch now. I was like, yeah, Bron. Normally you wouldn't see LeBron doing stuff like this. He would just let that shit roll off his back. I think now that he done hit 40, he like, man, fuck. I only got about a couple years left, if that, on my, like, not to retire soon. Like, I don't care.
People's kids are off limits. I don't care how old the kid is. You can comment on the game. You can comment on the stats. You can talk about. Leave the personal shit alone. Leave it alone. Y'all crossing these lines and these boundaries.
LeBron was not feeling it at all, bro. My thing is, LeBron not even really a fighter like that. So for him to walk up on you like that, you disrespected that man's household. He was not. He was not for the shenanigans.
And he said what he had to say, and that was it. It wasn't like
Stephen. It was the fact that Stephen A. said he was going to hit this man back. Stephen A., if he'd have got one hit on your goofy ass, what footing do you think you would have had to hit this man back?
All he's got to do is some Looney Tunes shit and just bop. That's it. That's all.
I'm like, because Stephen A. act like he's some big man. Like, bruh, like, no.
Like I said, he has a black belt hiding somewhere that nobody knows about in his past. The odds of him coming out successful in that type of an event are low. Okay? That's what I'm saying. You got a black belt hiding, maybe.
Bro, listen, that was gonna be the true meaning of he's about to blow your muffin cat back blue.
Right. It's right.
Sir, what type of dude you think LeBron was to walk up on you and knock you out? Fuck out of here, bro. Anyway, y'all let us know how y'all felt about this in the comments. Yeah. Like, share, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.